The war has finally exploded. Dragons fill the skies, ships burn across the sea, and one heartbreaking death changes the future of House Targaryen forever. Before we start, kindly like and subscribe to the channel for more reviews, recap, and movies recommendations. The story returns to Westeros, where Rhaenyra's stepdaughter and the youngest daughter of Daemon and the late Laena Velaryon, embarks on a life-changing journey. As a child, she was unable to bond with a dragon, leaving her feeling like she had not truly earned her place among the Targaryens. During the growing civil war, she is entrusted with escorting Rhaenyra's younger sons to Pentos, where they can remain out of danger. While stopping at the Eyrie, Rhaena encounters Sheepstealer, a fierce wild dragon that has never accepted a rider. Against all expectations, the dragon responds to her, allowing her to form the long-awaited bond. This remarkable moment finally gives Rhaena the sense of belonging and identity she has been searching for, marking an important milestone in her journey. Sheepstealer soon proves how he earned his fearsome reputation by bringing Rhaena a freshly cooked sheep to eat after her exhausting journey. Although the gesture suggests the dragon has accepted her, Rhaena is about to discover that gaining a dragon's trust requires far more than sharing a single meal. While Rhaena begins to find her place in the world, her cousin Aemond remains as ruthless as ever. The story shifts to the One-Eyed Prince as he searches for his missing brother, King Aegon. He soon learns that Aegon escaped King's Landing with the assistance of the cunning Larys Strong. After suffering devastating burns during Aemond's dragon attack, Aegon was persuaded by Larys that disappearing until the fighting subsided offered the best chance of reclaiming the Iron Throne later. Their escape, however, is short-lived. The pair are intercepted by soldiers loyal to Rhaenyra, who demand that they swear loyalty to her cause. Always looking out for himself, Larys quickly agrees, but Aegon refuses to acknowledge his half-sister as queen. As execution seems inevitable, Larys changes the situation by revealing Aegon's true identity. He convinces their captors that delivering the former king alive to Rhaenyra would earn a far greater reward than killing him on the spot. Although the revelation spares them for now, both men remain in an extremely dangerous position, with an uncertain fate lying ahead.
At Dragonstone, Rhaenyra has no idea that King Aegon is already on his way into her enemy's custody. Instead, she calls together her advisors to reveal a bold strategy for taking King's Landing. The plan has its roots in a secret meeting from the previous season, when Queen Dowager Alicent traveled to Dragonstone in search of a peaceful resolution. Her proposal was that Aemond would be sent away to Harrenhal, while the badly injured Aegon remained unable to rule. With Princess Helena left behind, Alicent believed she could persuade her daughter to open the gates of King's Landing, allowing Rhaenyra to seize the capital with minimal bloodshed and claim the Iron Throne. In exchange, Alicent asked that her family be spared. Rhaenyra agreed only in part, making it clear that Aegon would still have to face execution as the man she considered a usurper, while Alicent and Helena would be allowed to live. Not everyone is convinced the proposal can be trusted. JACAERYS, Rhaenyra's eldest son and hand to the queen, questions whether Alicent has been truthful after years of deception and political maneuvering. Even so, those concerns may no longer matter. When Alicent returns to King's Landing, she discovers that Aegon has already escaped. Meanwhile, Aemond has no intention of leaving the capital. Instead, he has firmly established himself as the power on the Iron Throne, showing
After spending much of the previous season trapped in unsettling visions at Harrenhal, Daemon returns to what he knows best, leading men in battle for Queen Rhaenyra. This time, he is reinforced by soldiers from the north, strengthening his campaign against the Greens. His latest victory is made easier by Aemond's absence. Although Aemond was expected to confront him, he instead leaves Sir Criston Cole, the Green Hand of the King, and Gwaine Hightower, Alicent's younger brother, to deal with Daemon without his support. Also gathered at Harrenhal are the 3 new dragon riders Rhaenyra recruited to strengthen her forces. Their mission is to ambush Aemond and his mighty dragon Vhagar as soon as they arrive. However, as the hours pass with no sign of their enemy, uncertainty begins to spread among them. Tensions rise even further when the mysterious Alice Rivers appears alongside a strange woodland creature unlike anything they have seen before. The unsettling encounter is enough to shake Ulf, the roughest and most impulsive of the new dragon riders, who decides to abandon the camp rather than risk what may be coming. Ulf's departure may prove premature. Soon afterwards, Aemond finally decides to travel to Harrenhal, announcing that he intends to host a grand feast there in honor of his mother, Alicent. His decision comes only after Alicent spends considerable effort persuading him that leaving King's Landing is necessary. At first, Aemond stubbornly refuses, unwilling to surrender his position of power. Eventually, however, he agrees to the plan. The conversation ends with an unsettling display of affection as he kisses his mother on the lips, a gesture Alicent quietly accepts despite its deeply uncomfortable nature. The story then shifts to the Narrow Sea, where Lord Corlys Velaryon, widely known as the Sea Snake, commands Rhaenyra's naval forces and works to secure her control of the surrounding waters. His fleet soon faces a major threat when it comes under attack from the Triarchy, a powerful alliance from Essos that has entered the conflict. The seeds of this confrontation were planted earlier when Sir Tywin Lannister traveled across the Narrow Sea to recruit additional allies for the Greens. During his mission, he reached an agreement with the ambitious Admiral Shirako Lohar, captain of the warship Bitchfist, securing the Triarchy's support against Rhaenyra's forces. However, once the battle begins, Lohar's personal rivalry with Corlys quickly takes center stage. Rather than simply carrying out the Alliance's strategy, she becomes determined to defeat the legendary Sea Snake at any cost. Her fleet launches a relentless assault, turning the encounter into one of the episode's most intense clashes. Ships collide, arrows rain across the battlefield, swords flash in close combat, and the sea is transformed into a brutal war zone as both sides fight fiercely for victory.
After receiving news of the fierce naval battle, Rhaenyra decides she must personally join the conflict. Before she can leave, however, her eldest son and Hand of the Queen, JACAERYS, steps in to stop her. Believing that the Queen's safety is essential to their cause, he argues that risking her life on the battlefield could endanger everything they are fighting for. Frustrated that his advice has repeatedly been dismissed, JACAERYS also struggles with the growing influence of Rhaenyra's newly recruited dragon riders, whose arrival has changed the balance of power within her ranks. Convinced that he is acting in the realm's best interests, he prevents his mother from leaving Dragonstone and takes matters into his own hands. JACAERYS then mounts his dragon and heads toward the battle, accompanied by his betrothed, Baela Targaryen. Together, the young dragon riders fly to reinforce Lord Corlys Velaryon's fleet, determined to help repel the enemy assault and protect Rhaenyra's forces at sea.
The battle initially swings in favor of the Triarchy, putting Rhaenyra's forces under immense pressure. The tide begins to turn, however, when Baela and JACAERYS arrive on their dragons, launching fiery attacks that devastate enemy ships and force the invading fleet onto the defensive. At sea, Lord Corlys Velaryon attempts to outmaneuver Admiral Shirako Lohar by drawing her fleet into a narrow passage where he hopes the terrain will work to his advantage. But Lohar refuses to back down. She retaliates by injuring JACAERYS' dragon, Vermax, and presses her assault against Corlys' fleet. In a bold move, she crashes her flagship into Corlys' vessel, triggering a brutal close-quarters fight. During the chaos, Corlys is thrown into the water, leaving his acknowledged son Alan to confront Lohar. Their struggle continues beneath the waves before Alan ultimately gains the upper hand, defeating the Admiral with a fatal strike. As the fighting reaches its peak, Rhaena enters the conflict riding Sheepstealer for one of her first battles. Still inexperienced as a dragon rider, she struggles to control the powerful beast. Sheepstealer unleashes dragonfire across the battlefield, without distinguishing between friend and foe, setting multiple ships ablaze. The situation becomes even more dangerous when
the chaos in the skies soon erupts into a fierce three-dragon confrontation.
JACAERYS, riding Vermax, rushes to protect Bela and Moondancer as Sheepstealer, still difficult for Rhaenyra to control, relentlessly pursues them. Amid the confusion of fire, smoke, and aerial combat, Vermax is struck once again by a well-aimed projectile. Mortally wounded, the dragon crashes into the sea, with JACAERYS still on his back. JACAERYS manages to escape the sinking dragon before it disappears beneath the waves. However, his struggle for survival is short-lived. As he surfaces among the burning wreckage, enemy archers unleash a volley of arrows, fatally striking the young prince and bringing his journey to a tragic end. With this devastating loss, the long-simmering conflict finally explodes into full-scale war. The events of the Battle of the Gullet mark a major turning point, proving that neither side will emerge unscathed.